every time. Okay, we're good.
All right.
All right, so after the pleasantries, how you're doing and everything. Shake hands around, right?
That's right. Okay, so for our side, what we see needs to be negotiated is the royalty and the packaging. Are those the things that you see as needing to be negotiated, or are there other items as well?
Yeah, I saw some other ones too.
Go ahead. I had one other one. Go ahead, Jake. I think.
Oh, yeah, I was just going to talk about the exclusivity and the equity and the packaging line.
Okay.
Yeah, we were wondering if you're going to try to bring that to the table or not.
Yeah. So, should we start with? I don't know.
All right. So, what do you guys have
we
for
both
the?
Mentioned...
I was just going to say, what do you guys have for the royalty per cup?
Yeah.
Well, we were thinking along the lines of maybe 6 cents.
All right. What do you think about that, Jeremy?
I was thinking slightly higher at between 8 to 10.
For us?
For us?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
But
yeah. If you're willing to give that, we'll take it.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you guys will do 10 cents a cup?
So
we could do 10.
Okay, so what are you offering?
So yeah, I had trouble with this is the one that I had trouble figuring. It seemed that anywhere between, I guess, 6 to 10 was what I was willing to go with, based on the mutual success that this deal could bring both companies. The only caveat to that, we'd be willing to give that as long as we could get a certain period of exclusivity at the beginning of the deal.
How long of exclusivity were you thinking about?
18 months minimum.
Would you go just for maybe 1 year instead?
The problem is there's an uncertainty involved with how long it might take for the business model to take off and for this product to gain ground. We're pretty confident that it's going to be successful, but we'd want more than 12 months just to make sure that our brand got the exposure. And then, once other brands come into play, like Starbucks will probably eventually want to do something along these lines. And so an 18-month minimum, would work best for us. Or royalty per cup.
Yeah. And also, if you guys just want to do a year, what we could do is we could just raise the royalty per cup if you guys would rather have that.
Okay. Or we'd be lowering it, right?
I say you do understand the royalty is what you're paying us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So if it were to, we'd be willing to pay. Go lower, but I would want but I'm not super comfortable with just 12 months. I would want probably at least 18 months, given the fact that it's going to take a little bit of time. Plus, with the packaging and the whole process of getting the distribution kinks out, there's no guarantee that within 12 months everything's running smoothly. It could be, but I'd feel better about it if we were able to get at least 18 months.
So are you saying that you're going to take on the packaging line as well then?
I know that's a concern for you guys. I think we could go ahead and take that on as long as we got some support from you guys. But yeah, I think it would probably work best if we went ahead, because I think the idea down the road is that the roaster would be taking care of their own production of the K-Cups, and through the eventual licensing agreements that you do with other roasters, that it's not necessarily feasible for you guys to do all the different packaging things. So we could start that precedent of taking care of our own packaging as long as we got the right kind of support from you guys. And I think the revenue made from the exclusivity and the brand expansion and brand awareness we could create with that would help us down the road of working our own packaging line out. What do you think, Jake?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, so to understand what you're saying, to make sure that I'm getting it right, you're saying that you're offering to do the packaging, but in order to do the packaging, you need to have the minimum 18 months exclusivity.
Yes.
And paying 10 cents per cup royalty?
Yes.
Sounds agreeable to me. What about you, Shirley?
That sounds agreeable to me too. So I guess the other thing that's still on the table then would be that you said you needed to discuss would be equity.
I'll let you be the wingman on that, Jake.
Yeah, so I was going to say that we were going to ask for 10% equity in the company.
That's way too high for us.
Really? Would we be able to negotiate up to that, or do you think that we would have to come down?
You'd have to come down a lot.
Yeah.
Let's think about 10.
You just said 10.
I said 20.
Oh, well, he said 10, meaning 20, but yeah.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I meant 5 then. How about 5?
That's still a lot for us.
Okay.
Would you do 2.5?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we could do that. Do you think that's a good thing, Jeremy?
That could work. We don't want to end up getting pushed out by another bigger company eventually. If we were able to have a little bit of the piece of the pie with you guys, then it would give us a more solid footing in the long run. We're thinking long run, not necessarily just right at the beginning.
Well, we're thinking long run as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is 2.5 okay with you guys?
2.5 would work for me. What do you think, Jake?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. All right, you guys know we're supposed to spend an hour on this, right? And we have 15 minutes.
Hey, we negotiated, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there's questions to go through afterwards
Yeah.
too, so it'll probably take some time.
Okay, so we do need to write up an MOU about this. So are we in agreement then that the royalty would be GMCR pays 10 cents per cup to Keurig. GMCR will take on the packaging. Keurig will give GMCR 18 months exclusivity, and Keurig will give GMCR 2.5% equity.
I think
Yep.
that's what the agreement is. Mhm.
I can agree to that. Rachel, can you agree to that?
I will agree to that.
Okay.
Awesome.
Shake hands. Good job, guys.
Yep.
Look forward to doing business with you. That type of stuff.
Yay.
Okay. That's
All right. Do we need to do that sheet right now? Like on a
Well,
Word doc?
So
I think so. I don't know if you guys. I mean, we can't talk about our confidential a lot, but on your confidential, the one thing we probably can say, because like ours says that an agreement should take the form of a short memorandum of understanding that you jointly draft,
But
outlining
do we
Yeah.
have,
So
do we have to
mine-
turn that in somewhere?
outlining specific deal terms in bullet point format. So we need to do that.
yeah, ours only said that we couldn't talk with other classmates outside of our negotiating group.
Yeah, but I don't think we were supposed to talk about our specific sides that were on it even here. I don't know if we are or not.
Yeah, our thing. It just said, we could talk about whatever we wanted within this group of 4 or whatever it is for other people, but like, I think it was mostly on campus instruction. Like they weren't supposed to go to other study groups and say, "What are you doing?" and this is what we have and that kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was more kind of pointed toward on campus study groups. Is the way I read it. But
Okay.
yeah, I did see the only thing we were supposed to write up was a paragraph if we didn't agree on anything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
why
we
it
did
went
that
wrong.
too, like what our next steps were if it didn't work out.
We weren't supposed to go to. There wasn't another website to go to, right? Like the other ones.
No.
No.
Okay. So the first question is, what happened in your negotiations? What was the tone of your negotiation?
I think it was cordial. I don't think it was rather adversarial or anything like that.
No.
No.
It was very relaxed.
Yeah.
I felt like we were treated fairly. Yeah. So
What actions did your counterparty take that were particularly effective?
for us, it was the 10 cents royalty that was
Yeah.
effective for us.
Offered a great royalty. That was, yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. For us, it was the 2% equity in the company. I think that was the
was
best
what?
thing that we
Yeah.
could get out of it.
It was what? The equity?
Yeah.
Equity. The exclusivity was also kind of an important thing.
Yeah.
So that'll give us a little bit of lead time on other competitors. Did you walk through a per cup economic analysis? We haven't done that.
No, but since we've already agreed to it, I'll walk through it with you.
Yeah, I was gonna say we kind of walked through it in our
That one.
strategy, but so
Okay. GMCR is going to receive 25 cents per cup from the distributor. So out of that 25 cents per cup, it's going to cost you a direct cost of 12 cents per cup to make it. It will cost you 2 cents per cup for processing and fulfillment. So that leaves a difference of 11 cents per cup, which you are paying us 10 cents.
Yeah.
So you're going to keep 1 cent per cup.
Yay. So we're making money. I'm okay with that. As initially, I'm fine with that at the outset, just as long as we were able to get some exclusivity out of that. If we weren't able to do that, then I would, the royalty would have to be lower. I mean, if we were to go to 6, that's only 4 cents more. I don't know that that's a massive deal. That, it's not a huge difference for me. But being a student and not personally vested in this.
Well, you're supposed to pretend like you're personally vested in it for this.
I know, it's just really hard right now.
Yeah.
What major points of disagreement did you encounter?
Well, at first we disagreed about the exclusivity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the initial request of equity too would probably be that.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the only two things that we disagreed, and we came to an agreement pretty quick.
Yeah. We thought you guys were going to ask like for complete exclusivity, like long term, everything.
So we didn't even
That was
discuss.
a no-go for us.
So we didn't discuss in our strategy. Well, could it be just a temporary time? Because I didn't think
Yeah.
of it. It's like,
Yeah, the thing about it for us is that realistically, it's not going to be a forever, thing. We're not. It's just not. It wasn't necessarily realistic that we would be able to only be your only partner, because eventually, the Pete's Coffee and the Starbucks, that was an obvious coming over the horizon thing. So from our point, it was going to be kind of unrealistic to ask for that kind of thing, and the mutual benefit for both companies of being able to come to an agreement, even if it wasn't necessarily what our initial asking prices were, it would be worth it to work it out, even if they were lower values on our side.
Well, yeah, because once you get equity, and if we grow, then that just benefits you as well.
Yeah. So I'm just going to say, from our confidential thing, one of the main guys said that having exclusive rights was important, but it wasn't going to be an absolute deal breaker. And if we're pretending to be the GMCR people, we're really confident in our customer service and the quality of our products, so we know that we can survive and continue to be a publicly traded company, even if this didn't necessarily work out. So as long as we could get some exclusivity, that was going to be a pretty good thing for us. All right, how important is this negotiation to Keurig, and what is at stake?
It's huge for us.
it's huge for us, because if we didn't get what we needed out of the negotiation, we were going to have to borrow money.
Mhm.
And it was unlikely that we were going to get it from VCs, because they already said, we're not giving you anything else. So we would have had to go to angel investors or get loans from banks.
Which would have taken a lot of time. A long time.
Yeah. It did mention in ours that we had no idea what your financial status was.
Yeah, it mentioned in ours too that you didn't know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But we didn't know that you knew that we didn't know.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot, I lost my thing. There we go. Okay. How did you view Keurig's position? I don't know if it's asking everybody or... I think we've already kind of done that. How important is it to GMCR? From what I could tell, it's important, and it was going to be a really good deal for us because it feeds into our... we're trying to kind of diversify our strategies on how we distribute, but this is going to be kind of a smaller portion of what we're doing as a company. So it was important, but the deal wasn't necessarily like an all or nothing sort of deal for us.
Yeah, and it said that we were trying to become a $1 billion company, right? So
Yeah.
this would just, if this did work out, then it would help us to get towards it. And if it didn't, then we would
would
just
help you
drop it and walk away.
It would help you expand
Yeah.
your brand recognition because right now you're just a company in the Northeast.
That's true. Yeah, that's what it talked about
Yeah.
too, how we would move over into a different market.
Yeah. Alrighty, what is the maximum value that could be shared between GMCR and Keurig?
Well, if they're getting 25 cents per cup from the distributor, the maximum value that they could share after taking costs out was 11 cents per cup. Unless I figured it wrong. Did you get that, Rachel? Or
That's what I got was,
Yeah.
11 cents per cup.
Yeah. How much does Keurig earn under True North?
under True North, when I did
think-
that one,
It's 12 cents, right?
they have to, actually, they would end up with 6 cents per cup.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And that would be if they were able to get the 25 cents per cup from the distributor. And since True North would be an unknown brand, they might not be able to get quite as much. But assuming they could, then it costs them 13 cents for the direct cost. It's 6 cents for processing and fulfillment because they already don't have they don't have distribution lines already like a GMCR does. So that would leave them 6 cents per
Mhm.
cup. And that would, as far as the per cup price. And if they also went with True North, that means they have to do all the packaging. So it cost them $700,000 for the packaging. And that depreciates over 5 years. So although they do have to put that $700,000 out up front, as far as accounting for that cost, it's $140,000 a year. And then doing just from the office perspective, they're estimating 34 cups a day and 250 days per year for the office, which means about 8,500 cups per machine. And then 1,500 machines, well, actually just one machine at 8,500 would give them about $510 per machine. And then for 1,500 machines, they'd get 765,000. And then if you take off the cost of the depreciation, it leaves them 625,000. And then the first year they have to pay out 300,000 to set up their processing and fulfillment. So it would cost them a lot to do it themselves.
So those costs decline after the second year, right?
Yeah, after their second year, it'd be a little higher because the processing and fulfillment would have already been taken care of. But per cup price, they would earn 6 cents per cup if they got the 25 cents.
North. What is Keurig's walkaway?
Well, our walkaway was if you didn't give us any more than 3 cents royalty, and then also like complete exclusivity. That was a walkaway for us.
Yeah.
And it asks, what is GMCR's walkaway? For me, the walkaway would have been no exclusivity, no equity.
Yeah. But like even in our instructions, though, everything that it said was pretty much, it's up to you guys, whatever you decide, pretty much. Like it wasn't like you have to have this or else you'll fail.
Yeah, I think one of the reasons this was really laid back is because our negotiation instructions were so loose. It just said, whatever, as long as we're not losing a lot of money on it. But the main concerns were the exclusivity and the equity. If we weren't able to get either one of those, that would pretty much be a walkaway. We didn't want to just be kind of paying royalties and stuff. So I guess that would.
Your walkaway would be if you didn't get both, or if you just
If
or
if you
one- or
would
one or
if
the
you didn't
other.
want to agree to if you didn't want to agree to either one of them,
Okay.
that was the walkaway. So it was if we could get both, that would be awesome. Best case scenario. If we could get just exclusivity, it would still help us in our brand expansion. If we were to just get equity, it would still help us and be a part of the growth of your company.
Yeah.
But neither one of those, we would have been in a really tight spot, even for being the bigger company, a fairly successful company up to this point. So
Yeah.
that would have been our walkaway. Neither one of those two.
Okay.
How did we get those values for our walkaways?
Well, we had to calculate ours.
Yeah.
So
For the complete exclusivity, that was because if you guys had that, then we wouldn't be able to expand to any other companies. It would limit our growth because people would, if they couldn't get any other product, because some would be really happy with GMCR. Some, as they were introduced to it, would love it, but there others is like, you don't carry my brand, I'm not buying your machine.
Yeah.
And then for the 3 cents per cup, yeah, we used a spreadsheet and figured that out.
Yeah, we wouldn't be able to cover our costs, for employment and all that other stuff if it was less than 3 cents.
And if we went down to 3 cents, then we would have had to have had you guys take on the packaging, because there was no way that we could take on packaging and have less than that 3 cents. So
we took care of you guys then.
yeah.
Yes.
Good.
That's why we were really surprised when you first came out with that 10 cents. We're like, okay, that's even better than we would have even hoped for. So
yeah, that was kind of a clue to me of your financials.
yeah.
It's like, okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it also gave us the option to buy you guys out too, just buy the company, but
Oh, really?
Yeah. I didn't figure out
Yeah,
that.
it said if we could just offer the buyout, and but it didn't come to that.
Yeah.
That was kind of like a Hail Mary if you didn't want to do either one of the equity or the exclusivity. That was kind of an ace of spades up our sleeve. Just offer you a number and see what happened. What is the ZUPA?
It's actually ZOPA, because I kept looking at that. What is that? And I finally Googled it, and then I remembered a different lesson. It's Zone of Possible Agreement.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I was thinking, but I was like, what?
I know. It's like, what's a Zupa? I kept
It's a Pokemon.
Well, I guess our zone, that was pretty much what our agreement was, correct?
Well, the zone is between the low and the high. So for us, so our zone of possible agreement, I guess, went from 3 cents.
It was 6 to 10, right?
That was for you, 6 to 10 cents.
For us, I guess it would have been 3 to 11.
So yeah, so we could say from 3 to 5 cents would have been, and GMC taking CR taking packaging. And then up to 10 cents. And anything probably 8 cents and above, we would have been willing to do packaging. Is that about right, Rachel? Somewhere in there?
Yeah.
So that would be our zone of agreement.
Yeah, like we said earlier, ours was just super loose. So it's basically
Yeah.
just whatever we wanted to say, we could have said.
It was very, very kind of whatever-ish. I was a little surprised. The Keurig walkaway, what was that specifically?
Our
Was that lower than
Yeah, that
was that 3 cents
yeah lower,
lower than 3 cents?
3, and then also complete exclusivity
Yeah.
for long term.
Okay.
So
Got it. Was it less than or equal to 3 or just less than 3?
Just less than 3.
less than 3. 3 was the
Okay.
minimum we would go, because that would have given us just barely what we needed, but we would have grown from there.
Okay.
Because as the market started expanding, even if we still had that 3 cents, there would be more people buying it. There'd eventually be more than those 1,500. So. And then as the company took on more value, we could negotiate a little bit more with another company, than the 3 cents.
Yeah.
But that would have been a starting point, a minimum for us as a company that's just starting out and still having to be, made well known.
Yes. How big of a deal is exclusivity to both parties?
Turns out it was a big deal for both of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for Keurig, it was a big deal because we didn't want to be tied to just one product, because it would hamper our ability to expand.
Yep.
Yeah, for us, it wasn't necessarily a deal breaker per our instructions, but it would help help us, get a leg up on the eventual other roasters and competitors that would want to start making deals with you. Have we captured a complete picture of both parties' interests? I think so.
Yeah.
Yep, our interest was in making money. It was in getting a jump start and eventually, sharing in the profit as well. So.
Yeah, I mean, our main interest is simply kind of expanding the way that we distribute and market our product. It's not necessarily completely tied to the portion pack industry, but this gives us a way to kind of diversify how we go about gaining new customers.
Yeah, because one of the things it talked about for you guys is that the brand recognition, because if you're using it in the office, then and you like it, it's like, oh, maybe I'll buy it in the store to have it home.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
All right. It looks like that's all of the questions. The prep assignment questions are the same as the case discussion questions.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, I can't answer the prep ones because we haven't done it yet. Okay. I don't know how much this MOU needs to have on it. Is anyone good at typing those up?
I don't think we need to do that. We don't need to turn it in anywhere. So.
Well, when we let's see, it could be attached with our write-up because you can put more than one file in there.
Okay.
I think it just needs to be a simple Word doc with 4 bullet points of our agreement.
So what I've got on here, it says MOU between Keurig and GMCR. GMCR will pay Keurig a 10 cent per cup royalty. GMCR will take on packaging. Keurig will give GMCR an 18-month exclusivity. Keurig will give GMCR a 2.5% equity.
Sounds good.
Okay.
It'd be as simple as that.
All right. So I'll copy and
Is that something we all need to add, or is it just one person per?
I don't know. Let's see.
That's why the other student asked if we needed to turn it in, but he never did answer her. So
Okay. Well, I put it up there. If you want to copy and paste it to a Word doc, that's what I typed up.
Sounds good.
okay.
Oh, where'd it go? Sorry, could you put that up again? It kind of
If you just go to the left corner,
Yeah.
Yeah. Click on the chat. It should be up there.
the little blue box in the corner.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
All right, so we good?
I think so.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good. See you guys.
Okay. Do we need?
Do we need to do the summary?
Yeah.
Paste this real quick.
Are you still
Whose
gonna
turn is it to do that?
I think it's mine.
Well,
You know, I love these
summary-
things.
yeah, the summary is pretty much what we put up there. I mean, it's right there if you want to, for our agreement. But,
Well, yeah. Do I need to go through all the questions again that we just answered?
I don't know.
No.
You just hit some of the major points.
Yeah. Okay, so the summary for our negotiation was that Keurig wanted at least 5 cents for royalty, and GMCR offered 10 cents, and so we agreed that that would work for us. At first, Keurig didn't want any exclusivity, but GMCR said that they wanted at least 18 months to help with them getting kind of a jump start over the competition that they knew would come later on, and to also help with their costs of taking on the packaging and distributing and things. So Keurig was accepting of that, and as well as GMCR taking over the packaging, because that would save us money. There was some negotiations. GMCR wanted 20% equity at first, and Keurig was not accepting of that. And so we negotiated down to 2.5%, and that's where we agreed on. And so the final negotiation terms were that GMCR will pay Keurig 10 cents per cup royalty. GMCR will take on the packaging. Keurig will give GMCR an 18-month exclusivity, and Keurig will give GMCR 2.5% equity. So there's a give on one side, take on the other side, and worked out well. Does that sum it up?
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rachel.
Yep.
Okay.
Alrighty. Well, thank you very much for everything this whole semester.
Yeah, it's been good working with you guys.